everybody, and welcome back with some more Drivers Room Festival of Speed. We are here at round number 4 in the lovely countryside of Belgium. We are here at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, which is one of the most famous circuits to ever exist. It is a long circuit with 7.004 kilometers in total length, or 4.352 miles long. And yeah, it's very iconic with corners like Eau Rouge and Radion, Pouhon and Blanchimont. It's a very nice circuit to race on. Anyway, let's go through the grid order of today's race. In first on pole position we have Flapjack. He has put his car on pole for today. And alongside him we have Too Fast For You, starting in second place. In third place we have RJ Cool. And alongside him we have his teammate the Roberts Dog in fourth place. Fifth place is for Lorna Malvo, and sixth is for Bullet. Last but not least, we have Rocker, teammate from Bullet, and he will start in seventh place. That is the grid order of today's race. Let's see what this race will bring us. The 5 lights are on and they're out, and away we go for round number 4, as Rocker doesn't get away well. He might have jumped the start, as into turn 1, Too Fast running wide and losing all positions, because that runoff area isn't the best for getting back on track. As they now head through Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time. RJ Cool and Roberts Dog now up a place, as Malvo has a half a second penalty for corner cutting, probably at Radion, as they head into the Lecom chicane. Now Too Fast, the big loser out of the start, dropping all the way down from second to sixth place. Then Rocker with a slow start as well. Now through Pouhon they go into the final part of the second sector. Really twisty, as Too Fast making a move on Bullet and Lorna Malvo, getting 2 places in one go. As Lorna Malvo nearly spins out, he got a 1 second penalty instead of half a second, so somewhere he cut another corner, and he will serve his penalty here, and he will drop down to last place. Into the bus stop chicane for the first time to round off lap number 1. Flappy holds his lead and already has created somewhat of a gap to RJ Cool behind. Then we have the Roberts Dog, then we have Too Fast, trying to make up some places again. Then Bullet, Rocker and Lorna Malvo in 7th. This Camel Straight is really a long one, and with these cars they achieve higher top speeds at the end of the Camel Straight than Formula 1 cars, so that says a lot about the raw power of these cars. Their lap times will be quite a bit slower though, seeing that the Formula 1 mostly relies on on downforce, and these cars also weigh a lot more, so a lot more weight and a lot less downforce will cause a longer lap time. Malvo giving Rocker a bit of a push, giving him the place back though. And Rocker now goes in deep or gives the place back, feeling it wasn't Malvo's fault. I am not sure. RJ Cool now has half a second penalty. And it will be interesting to see how much time that will cost him. Now the fastest lap is from Too Fast, a 2 minute 2.5. A pretty respectable lap time with the high fuel load. Ooh, and Too Fast is now really close to the back of the Roberts dog, pulls out, and with that slingshot that he got from Radion, and Too Fast is up in front of the Roberts dog, now in third place. But it's still very close, so the Roberts dog can always fight back, although it seems that Too Fast is a bit quicker than the Roberts dog, and maybe as well a bit quicker than RJ Cool. Oh, and Too Fast goes already for the move after Poon dives down the inside. Not gonna work out this time. Well driven from the both of them. Too Fast looking for that move, and RJ Cool making sure that Too Fast doesn't get past. Although now Too Fast will get past after RJ Cool serves his penalty. And RJ Cool runs wide, at the Blanchiment, and that will cost him 2 places, or what? Whoa, okay, lovely little leg spike, as Flappy is now in last place, but he's in first. Holy moly, timing screens aren't really showing the correct standings. It's not Too Fast in first, but it's Flappy who is said to be in last place. Wow. Okay. So now it's a bit more of a headache to get around the position. So it's Flappy in first, then we have Too Fast, then the Roberts dog, then RJ Cool, then we have Bullet, Lorna Malvo, and Rocker is in last place. Hopefully with the pit stops it will sort itself out. And I think this will be a one-stop race. Drivers are already past 25% of the race. And in terms of fuel, some might need to do a bit more fuel saving, or take a bit of extra fuel in the pit stops, seeing that the top 4 it mostly comes down to Too Fast, who needs the fuel the most. seeing that he is now already below 70% fuel, whilst the others are just past 75%. And now the timing screen has resorted itself with Flappy crossing the start-finish line. One thing to note though is that the tire wear in the bottom left hand side of the screen is showing worse than it has previous rounds. This is because of a new system update which shows the tire wear more accurately, and that's why it's looking way worse, but it's round about the same as it was on previous occasions. So it's just the showing of the tire wear is much higher than it was in previous rounds. And I just noticed that Rocker has retired from this race. So we are left with 6 drivers, and Flappy is just really running away at this moment in time. Miles ahead of Too Fast. And even Flappy's tire wear is even better than that of Too Fast. So yeah, good job to Flappy. I think it will be plain sailing from here on out as we ride on board with him through Blanchimont to the bus stop chicane. As he starts lap number 6, you can just hear that raw power from this Bugatti. All of that horsepower is running through it, as Too Fast and the Roberts dog are actually both in. They are going for a 2-stop strategy. Interesting. And you can just see 58% of fuel left for Too Fast, and 65 and 67% for the Roberts dog and RJ Cool. Malvo and Boonet are also below 60%, but it's for Too Fast about his main competitors, which are the Roberts dog and RJ Cool, who head out of the pits. And now it's a very big lead for Flappy, but he will need to come into the pit at the end of this lap. And although MS Too Fast pitted a lap earlier and should have a lot more grip from his new rubber, he might close in on Flappy, but I don't think, or I'm sure about it, that it won't be enough to get past Flappy. Flappy might even consider going for a 1-stop race, seeing that he's so far in front, and with the time loss of the tire wear, it might be the way to go. Let's see, does he come into the pits? He should go on out of the left side of the screen. No, he does not. He exits on the right. So he continues on for another lap, almost confirming that he is going for a 1-stop race. Malvo now again picking up a half-a-second penalty. I do have to say the track limits around this place are very strict, and to get the most out of your car is really a case of nailing down those track limits, but without crossing them, of course, without getting yourself a penalty. And the speed of these cars is just amazing, almost 350 kilometers an hour as two of us hits the brakes. And the Robbers Dog actually a lot less, same for RJ Cool, about 7-8 kilometers an hour slower. Could be because of some fuel saving. Bullet as well, quite some lower, and unfortunately I didn't got the speed from Malvo. As I think the Robbers Dog has pulled away slightly from Arjiku. Arjiku may be making a mistake, as it still is really close between Bullet and Malvo for 5th place. Through Puon, sometimes a difficult corner. As Flappy is now finally into the pits, serving his first pit stop. Let's see where he emerges relative to Too Fast. And Flappy takes a little bit extra fuel, only 10% more. And with in terms an actual pit stop advantage, or pit stop ahead I should say, Flappy emerges out in front of Too Fast, and by quite some margin as well. As RJ Cool is now falling away from the Robbers Dog. Bullet now also stretching a bit clear of Malvo in front. So at the moment it's the closest that cars are around this track is between Bullet and Malvo. Malvo setting a personal best, sector 1, half a second up of his previous best. Can he stick it all the way through the lap and get himself a new personal best, or maybe even the fastest lap of the race? The fastest lap still being held by Too Fast at 2 minutes 2.4. The biggest difference in downforce is really showable, or is really shown in Pujon, the long sweeping left-hander. The Formula 1 cars of this era take it almost flat in 8th gear, and these cars, almost all the drivers are shifting down to 4th gear, maybe even 3rd, just to get it rotated nicely. And also Blanchimont also not fully flat out. Malvo goes quicker, 1.5 seconds green on his personal best lap. And he closed in a little bit on Bullet, about 2/10 maybe, as a big lift off as they head through Eau Rouge, then Radion. And I don't think even with the slipstream Malvo is close enough to go for a move into the Lacombe chicane. Bullet holding off Malvo. But Malvo is lurking and very close this time around, closer than he has been before. Bullet not getting a great run through the opening sequence of corners in sector number 2, as they are now side by side. Bullet gets forced off the track. Malvo gives the space and plays back. Oh, but Bullet goes off himself. No! Just as we got to the off-board camera, Bullet has slid into the gravel trap and has semi-spun out. And this could be devastating for Bullet if he cannot find the pace again. Because he might be quick enough to catch up to Malvo, but he needs to have the confidence to do so. Duval's now at about 20% left of his fuel, so one more lap and then he will go into the pits again for his second pit stop. But he runs a bit wide at Puhan and continues on. Will that be a penalty for him? It doesn't seem like it. He lifted off enough to satisfy the stewards. Malvo now with a half a second penalty. That will mean that Bullet will catch up somewhat again. Flappy, it is a bit cruising now, even taking Blanchimont in 6th gear, not really caring about anything it seems right now, only just keeping it on the road. Just like the Roberts dog, he lifts off completely, maybe even considered going down into 4th gear, as Duval's is now in with 15% left. Will the Roberts dog follow him in as well? Yes, he will. And RJ Cool will follow in as well. Yes, there they go. So they are in, and with 15 and even 21% more fuel than the Roberts dog or RJ Cool, or less, I should say. He comes out of the pits with 62%. That should be enough to see him through to the end of the race. Roberts dog doesn't refuel. Bold move. RJ Cool does. He does refuel. Goes up to 53%. Malvo is now in as well as Bullet. Bullet again also with a bit more fuel than Malvo. And Bullet takes a bit of fuel. Malvo goes up to 42%, Bullet to 47%. As it's now a race to the checkered flag for everyone. Everybody now a bit on their own. Is now just a job of keeping it on the road, keeping it pointed in the right direction without something happening to their car. It's mostly about Flappy with his worst tire wear. So he could theoretically make a mistake the quickest in terms of tire wear. And with everybody else having made a pit stop recently, their tire wear will be much better. Spa is one of my favorite circuits. I think it has a place in a lot of hearts from motorsport fans all around the world. As Malvo now has again a half-second penalty, and that will make sure that Bullet will still edge closer to him. Will it be enough to secure a top 5 finish? That is the question. Too fast, really going quick now, as Flappy has meanwhile taken the fastest lap, probably just after his first pit stop, which is now at 2 minute 2.2. And Too Fast is up by more than half a second on that time, so he is really going for it. If it wasn't for the mistake at the beginning of the race, running out wide and losing all those places and getting stuck behind some of the drivers, I think Too Fast might have been a contender for the victory. Goes quickest of all, a 2 minute 1.7, half a second quicker than Flappy's time. And in the end, that means that Too Fast will get that bonus point for the fastest lap at the end of the race. At least if it stays his, but I think it will, because Flappy with his short tires won't make it, or he will make it to the end of the race, but he won't make it to do a fastest lap, purely based on the fact that his tire wear is just absolutely nowhere at the moment. Robstock, Article, I don't think they can do something today in terms of the fastest lap. They have been quick in some circuits, but this circuit shows that Flappy and MS are on a bit higher level, which is fine. I mean, they're still third and fourth, which is absolutely splendid. Malvo in fifth, still keeping away Bullet. Bullet actually not gaining as much as I thought he would do. So maybe Malvo is the quicker of the two. As we are nearing the end of this race, Too Fast will have 3 laps left to go. 2 laps left to go. RG Cool with a half a second penalty. They will also have 2 more laps to go as it stands now. RG Cool might only have to do 1 more lap because of his penalty. Malvo running out wide. He will only have to do one more lap after this. Same for Bullet. And I don't think Bullet will be able to catch up to Malvo. And Flappy, of course, will also do one more lap after this one. So the Robert's dog with 10% left with his fuel, opting not to refuel on the pit stop, and that will cost him dearly now, as he will head on for another lap. As RG runs a bit wide, but the Robert's dog doesn't have the fuel to really make it for another lap. So yeah, I wonder how that's gonna play out. RJ Cool will serve his penalty, and he surely has enough fuel to make it for another lap, maybe even another 3 laps. As I think the Robert's dog has just done a massive lift and coast. As he now pulls up to the side, and he will just wait for the finish flag, the checker flag to fall, and the Robert's dog will take 4th place. It would have been 4th anyway. Because he would have ran out of fuel anyway during that lap, and Ajiku wouldn't. Malvo will take 5th place, another top 5 finish for him, and Bullet will take 6th. And Flappy, oh, look at the tire wear on his car, it's almost all completely red. Wondering how he can point it in the right direction all the time. Not a single mistake from this guy all race long. Just set his sights to victory after starting on pole position. And he will come into the bus stop chicane for the 15th and final time this evening. Flappy will take a very good victory out here today. He is your race winner for tonight. Then we have Too Fast. He is coming up to the bus stop chicane as well for the 15th and final time. Also a good job from him, starting 2nd, finishing 2nd. I think he can be happy with that as he flashes his lights. Then RJ Cool is the final driver to cross the line. For him as well, a good result, that final podium position. RJ Cool will take 3rd place as he waves across the line. And that was it for this round of the RFS. Flappy below 10% of fuel, so he might not have made it for another lap, but he made it to the checkered flag, and that's all that counts. He is the race winner for today. 2nd for Too Fast and 3rd for RJ Cool. I hope you enjoyed this race, albeit a bit silent in terms of numbers for the drivers. It was still a interesting race to watch, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are so close to 100 subscribers, and hopefully we will reach that soon. Anyway, this was it for round number 4. I was gonna say 6. No, it's round number 4. Uh, so yeah, I will see you guys not next week, because then it's the 1 hour endurance race from DRSL. So we won't have any DRFS then, and the week after we will have DRFS, because then we are heading to Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Spain, in Barcelona, as you might have guessed. So yeah, that's also gonna be an interesting race. Even with the tire wear, it's a half circuit on tire wear, so we will see what happens. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys not next week, but the week after with some more Drivers Room Festival of Speed. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.